Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to check out Memento Mori, which just released. I'm going to do a reroll guide and then a first impressions. I'll leave timestamps if you want to see the first impressions before the reroll guide. But basically, the reroll is so quick and easy, but there's like a couple of mistakes with the wishlist and stuff that you want to avoid. So I wanted to go through it quickly. TLDR, clear the first chapter, do a tutorial summon, do another one stage that's guided, then you claim your rewards, do your summons, and then if you don't like it, you clear data. That's the TLDR, and you just jump back in. Now, there is multiple servers. I always go on the newest server, but it's up to you. So that is the TLDR. So let's go through it quickly. I'm not going to go through all of it. I just want to go through the basics, and I'll do a lot of jump cuts along this, but it takes about 10 minutes to do. So you're going to get into it. It's going to give you boss battles. We're going to jump into this, and we're just going to place the units. It's very tutorial. You jump in, you clear stages, and you keep moving into the next stage, yada, yada, yada. It'll tutorial give you new characters, also teach you how to upgrade as well. And then what you want to do with the tutorial characters that you get, like I said, you just want to level them up to level 10 once you get enough resources, which is normally around chapter 1-7, 1-8. You're sort of around that point, and then you can upgrade them, and then you should be right to clear the rest. So as you can see here, we get a new character. We chuck them in, then we're going to get another new character, and then we're going to learn how to upgrade and stuff like that. But that is pretty much the basics. I'm going to come back a little bit later and continue, because this is just fluff that you can't mess up. Okay, as you can see here, I was just grinding through. I lost on stage 6. It's going to teach you to claim the loot, and then you're just basically going to go back to your characters, and we're going to go ahead and just level them up to level 10. Or as close to. So she's going to get to level 10. We don't want to go to level 11. You just don't need to. It uses resources. Then you'll have to pay 50 premium currency to reset it later on, which is not what you want to do. So then we just go to the next character, level her as far. She gets to 7. That's perfectly fine. Now we can continue. If we fail again, we just continue with the leveling up, gearing up process, and away you go. Okay, so once you get to this stage, this is the final stage of the first chapter. You can see I've got my 3, I believe these are rare characters to level 10. The normal character, I don't really care about. It shouldn't matter. We should be fine just to go through here and clear this boss. And then that's going to give us our tutorial summon. So we'll just watch this happen. We'll jump into the tutorial summon. I'll talk about the wish list and stuff like that, because you don't want to mess the wish list up. It's fairly easy not to mess up, but if you do, you're going to get some not so great rates. So let's just keep going. Let's go clear this boss pretty quickly. Hopefully quickly, kind of ish. Hopefully we don't lose. Hopefully the level 10's enough. We are geared as well, so that's fine. So there we go. We clap the boss. Oh, please don't kill me. There you go. Nice. Okay. So now after we clear that, it's going to take us through the first tutorial summon. We skip that. Skip. Yes. And next country. It's going to fast track through this. Just keep spamming the screen. And then we should get the invoke feature. So this is your summoning feature. Fairly basic. We're going to hit invoke 10. We can do that. Now, like I said, you can get multiple on this. You are guaranteed 1 from what I found. And the first 2 are always going to be her, because you need those 2 copies of her for the tutorial. Okay, there we go. So we get that, we get her, we close that. And now we're going to go home. It's going to take us through a little bit more tutorial. I believe it's the missions now that it goes to. Yep. We're just going to claim some missions. And then going to hit go, and I don't think we can skip out of this. It's just one more stage, because we're going to put that unit in. That's why we get the guaranteed SR unit, so that we can take them in there. We're going to go through this battle. You'll clap this battle super easy. It's not even an issue. And then we're going to be detached. There we go. Done. Moving on. And now we are detached from it. Now we can go back home. Once this happens, we can go home. And basically all you're going to want to do is, we'll claim that because it's there. None of the other red dots really have anything of massive value. Pretty much all you want to do is go to presents, claim this, which is your pre-registration rewards. You get that character. She's actually really decent. I don't know what they call them. I just know this game is a copy of AFK Arena, so I call them Celestials, which are harder to summon. So yeah, she's actually decent, but they're also harder to upgrade. Now we do have this wish list. Now the wish list, there's only 5. Just leave the wish list as it is, because if we look at the characters, And I'll tell you why you want to have a full wish list in a sec. But if we go to index here, you can see for the LR, so this is like their max ascension. So this is the SR characters at base, and this is the R characters at base. They cannot be leveled up as far, so these guys become useless. They might be some decent in the early game, but they end up being useless in the game because they can't level up to the same level as the others. So over here is going to be your main units. You can have 5 units of each faction on the wish list, and as you can see, each faction, you can see it in the top little corner there, each faction only has 5 units, so there's no point in changing the wish list because the only thing you'd be changing it to is these units, which become obsolete anyway. So it's always better in these games to go for the units that are there, and like I said, that base wish list just has all the SR base units on it. Now if I wanted to, I could remove one, but what happens if we remove anything from the wish list, you can actually even see it in the details. You can see here that because we removed her from the wish list right there, now you can see the other 4 that are on the wish list get a boosted rate. However, because we removed her from the wish list, she's now at a 0.05% chance, and all of those R units from everywhere get a boosted chance. So you do not want to remove them because then you can get the rare units, and you really want to pull SRs. So removing anything off the wish list is a completely bad idea. Just leave the default wish list, and basically that's what you want to go for. Now, as for who to reroll for, I haven't played the game enough. I haven't made my own opinions on characters. I'll put on the screen a little JP tier list that I jumped into the Discord and I saw linked. And you know, you can get a vibe off of that. I always just like reading characters as well, but it's, you know, it's up to you. But I'll leave that on the screen. That is none of my research. I have no idea. That's the best I've got. I always go for volume in this. Keep in mind, in these games, you're probably going to need like 14 copies to get to max ascension. So it's all about numbers and volume of SRs that you can get. So I'd be aiming for like maybe 4 SRs, hopefully one or 2 of the higher ranked ones. But eventually these games have really high rates. I think it's around 5%, and you're gonna get a lot of them. You get a lot of free currencies in this game, so just keep that in mind. It's like rerolling isn't the end of the world, but if you want to, there's a little tier list. It has like end game tier list, and then I think it has like early game tier list. So make up your mind on what you want. Like I said, I don't have enough knowledge on it to make that call, but I just thought I'd put something in there so you have something. So now that we have that, like I said, we've got some extra summons. We leave that wish list as is, and away we go. Now, the other thing I wanted to quickly mention is that the chick that we got for free, you can see here, we have her, which is like a celestial. I call them, you can't put them on the wish list. They only have a 0.1% chance of obtaining. And then we have this chick here, which is I call it a hypergene, but like a dark, if you want to. I still don't know what the faction's called. Sorry, I could have looked it up, but I didn't. And she's a 0.1% chance. Now, I believe Natasha, which is the one we get for free, is really good. And getting a dupe is going to be nice. It means you can level her up further. But these guys traditionally are just harder to get. But they honestly don't seem like too bad of rates in this game compared to other games. So maybe they won't be too bad. So getting dupes of Natasha could be a really good play to go. I actually did get a dupe of Natasha on the account that I've played to about chapter 4 or 5 last night. So yeah, now that we're here, we do this summon here. You can see we do get 1 guaranteed SSR, which is really nice, but you don't get that on every 10 pull. So let's go here and confirm. And then we actually got 2 in this one, which is nice. So this is your summon animation. I'm just going to skip these. Those animations are really, really cool. Like, it's not just the animation, it's the music, the voice acting. It's really nice. So that's that one. Cool beans. All right, now we're done. We go back here to Prayer of the Crusade, of the Cursed, sorry. This beginner one, this is like a paid summon system. This one here is friendship summons, and this is like faction summons, which we don't have any of those. So now we're over here. You can see there's no guaranteed SR above the pool 10, so you can just go ahead and pull these singles. If you're going to re-roll anyway at the end of it, you may as well burn through all these singles that you have. It was going to take too long to rack up the gems to get a 10 pull, so I find it easy just to do this. The animation isn't too long, so it's pretty quick to just punch through these and go ahead and get them done. On my other account, I've actually done a few singles and got pretty decent rates for them, but this one's looking pretty average on the singles. And that's it. So that is going to be it. Now with this thing, once you've done that, if you want to keep the account, you can go to account link. You can link it to Twitter, Google Play, or you can do this password link thing where you click link, we go link, and then basically you just have to set a password to go with your link code. So you keep both of them and then you can log in on other devices. Now, if you're like, maybe I might want this account in the future, just set a password, take a screenshot of it, and then you've got it later if you go, okay, I didn't get a better reroll. So that's what you do there. So you can actually like save the account, but not have to keep it. It's just like an option to come back to. And then once you get one you want to keep, you can go ahead and bind it to Twitter or Google Play. So that's it. Once you've done that, if you don't like it, you basically just close it off. You go into, let's just close this off. Now, if you're on Apple, you'll have to uninstall, reinstall. But if you're on an emulator or if you're on, where are we? Where's settings? There it is. Or if you're on Android, you can just go to the settings. You can go to apps, and then we can just go to the game, and we can go to storage, and we go clear storage. Okay. And that's it. Then we just jump back into the game. And then it's going to download 300 meg, which I'm in Australia and it only takes like 2 minutes. So if you're in America, it's probably going to take like 20 seconds to download. And then you're straight back in, select your server, and away you go. So that is it for the reroll. Pretty simple, pretty quick. Took a bit of time there explaining the wish list and stuff like that. But as you can see, it's pretty quick if you want to just punch through some rerolls and get it like that. Now we're going to jump into my first impressions. I'll just log into my account. Okay, so here we are over my account. Now this game, if you want to play the game, basically, if you don't like idle games, I don't think you're going to like this game. But for a side game, I didn't expect to like this game because this isn't normally like the art style that I really like. But the audio, which I'm not putting on because I believe a lot of it must be copyrighted because it's like, it's full lyrics and everything. But yeah, you can jump in the game and figure it out, but it's got a lot of those moments where it's really like just ambient type music, just real chill vibes. But then, you know, when you're watching an anime and then it just gets like, they play that music and it like just gets you absolutely pumped up and excited. Like they do that, like when you summon a new character, they all have a different song that plays with them. The voice acting's amazing. The art is just fantastic. It's just like, it's a really well presented game, and everything's really quick. Like no loading screens, everything runs really well as well. But like I said, at its core, this is basically just AFK Arena reskinned with no real investment put into the combat. It feels like the people that made this were more into the story, the voice acting, the presentation, the audio, the visual. It's more like it's more supposed to be a story with combat as the side thing, is what I feel about it. But if we jump in, I'll show you some combat, which you've already seen. Let's collect my rewards here. But literally, this is what combat is. We just go here, and it's just the PNGs. It's not PNG. It is the animated 2D that comes on the screen when they use their attacks. It actually tells you which attack they are using as well. But it's got 4 times speed up to speed it up. The other thing it does have is this skip button. So I'll show you in a sec because you'll watch me fail here because I'm at a stage where I'm kind of stuck at. And you'll see me. I've been experimenting with leveling some characters up to 61, trying to balance them all out at 40. I just can't get past this stage at the moment. But if it becomes like an RNG simulator, a lot of the attacks say like hits 2 random enemies, hits 3 random enemies. So there's so much RNG involved in combat, it's not funny. And you can literally do this. Ready? I'm literally starting, and this is where the fast UI is really good. Like you can set an auto clicker on this, and if you feel like eventually I'm going to get the RNG with a battle, you can literally just spam one button click with like with a macro. And you can keep retrying. UI is really clean. It makes this very simple. But, you know, combat's not that impressive to look at. However, the theory crafting is still quite nice. Each character, very much, like I said, direct copy of AFK Arena style. They have 4 abilities. Now, the lower ranked characters only have 3 abilities, and they'll get level capped earlier, so they're kind of useless, like I mentioned earlier. But, you know, the abilities are interesting. Normally they have 2 active abilities. These 2 have 4 turn cooldowns, so it's normally going to use the first one, then the second one. And as you level up more, you unlock the skill ups. And then they normally got 2 passives as well. So it's really interesting. I do love these games, just looking at characters, reading abilities, theory crafting, all that sort of stuff. It is a bit of fun. But yeah, that is the bulk of what you're looking at its core. Now, there is a heavy dupe system. Like I said, you'll probably need 14 dupes to get to max ascension. Then past that, they'll probably have stars on max ascension, which would be like another 10 dupes. But if we go over here to her, she's actually a bit different because she is this, I call it celestial. I don't know what faction they actually call this, the light faction. She's going to only need dupes of herself to keep duping up. Whereas all the other ones, I don't think I have 2 copies of another one. But the other ones, like your first dupe up, you'll need one of the same. And then you'll need like copies just of the same faction, being this red faction. It's just AFK Arena's dupe system, if anyone's played that. But you need a lot of dupes in the end, so it is a very heavy dupe system. That's why the rates are really solid. Now, as for other content, we've got the main campaign line. You've got your AFK loot. You can get quick rewards and stuff like that. Past that, we have trials. We've got a Cave of Spacetime. This is your standard labyrinth mode. You just keep going node to node, get rewards, move on to the next node, get rewards, move on to the next node, so on, so forth. Pretty basic. So that's that. And all these modes have the skip function. So you can just go skip, yoink, thank you very much. Keep in mind your HP and stuff does stay the same from stage to stage. So these ones, once it gets harder, you might want to slow it down and watch it. Past that, we have the Fountain of Prayers. This is just your dispatch missions. That's literally it. The Battle League, which is like PvP, just auto PvP as usual. Then we have Tower of Infinity. This is just your tower, endless tower that you keep climbing. There is chance limits as well. So I believe, I don't know how often they reset, but that's only if you fail do you use a chance. So that is that one. You just keep climbing the tower, getting rewards. This one here is Temple of Illusions. My guess would be that this is some sort of one-time events that you do clear, you get some rewards just based off AFK Arena. That's pretty much what I'm basing that off of. We have the guild function, which you have guild bosses or guild raids that you challenge. I'm going to wait and level up before I do it, but it's standard battle screen, nothing crazy about it. But they also do have guild battles. Now, I just joined a random guild. I couldn't get myself to place a guild, so I'll try and find out more about the guild battles as well and find out more information about that. But it's really nice that they do have guild battles, and it looks like another grand battle feature, which will be coming soon. So I love guild content. That is really solid, and literally that's pretty much the game. The thing that I find beautiful about these games is that they are idle. Like, you get the rewards while you're away. So you go away, you click the rewards, you level things up, and then you might be able to beat stages. You keep going. They're really good just for collecting characters. If you enjoy summoning, you get lots of free summons in these games, and that's pretty much what they're for. And this one is just presented really, really well with some really, like, the animated 2D art is like really well animated as well, and it's a really unique art style. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of Sinnoh Alice, if I had to guess something. But yeah, it's a really solid art style. Like, I'm having fun with this game. It's not going to be a main game for anyone. If you don't like idle, it's not going to change your mind, but you know, it's a bit of fun. So let's go over here. I do have enough for a 10 pull, so let's go ahead and pop a 10 pull, see if we can get anything on this one. Hopefully we can. And nothing. Rip. Rip the absolute dream. Guys, you guys couldn't bring me the luck that I needed. I've honestly had a lot of luck on this one. Like I said, we've already got 2 copies of Natasha, one free one that we get, and then I did summon a dupe. So I'm pretty happy about that. My other characters aren't the greatest. She's a pretty decent support, so she's okay. The other thing that I want to mention quickly is their gearing system is a lot more in-depth than what I'm used to in these idle games. I don't quite understand the gearing system yet, because it's always confusing when you've got like level requirements on gear, and then you can level up the gear, and then you've got different rarities. So you got like, it's the level of the gear with the rarity, but then you can level it up, and then as you level up, those gears become obsolete, and it's just like one of those really sort of almost too pointlessly in-depth gear systems, but I could be wrong. I'll find out more and I'll let you guys know. So thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.